As you can see, I'm after washing the JCB off. Okay, here we are. I'm just doing a talk about the wrapper. We have a Tanco S200. In retrospect, we probably should have bought the S300, but you know what they say, retrospect is a great thing. I made I started a video during summer when I was using it, but I got too busy to finish it and just didn't get time to follow up on it. So I'll put in that video now, and we'll talk again in a minute. So this is a very quick walk around our wrapper since while we're waiting for bales. I have a Caltech and a tractor with double bale hooks in the front and double bales in the back drawn. So this is the wrapper anyway. A fantastic machine altogether. As you can see here, we have the two rollers, or two rolls of plastic of carriers on the side. And we have our other two rollers. Then we have this. It serves two functions. One is that when you come into a bale and put pressure against it, it'll sense it and then close these rollers, and then the wrap will start going around. The second is that when I'm stacking bales on their barrel, which is up on their end like this, not this, it will, as these rollers move out, it'll push forwards and shove the bale out on its end. It's very handy. The first I didn't show you the first day I was using it because I was still trying to learn how to use it, but next day I'll record it and put it on. Not much to say about the wrapper itself. We have a JCB 310S. Apologies for the mess, the lane was a bit dirty driving up. And up into the cab. So here we have our control box, and then my joystick. This button came off me the other day, so disappointing. So we choose between auto and manual. That was manual, now it's an auto. Menu. So go into operator setup, and we can go through all the different options. So wraps, bale counter, film brake, auto load, which is the sensor, auto wrap, which is when the arm closed fully, it starts to wrap it. It's just preferences, latest low, remote offers, and I can buy a remote, but it was expensive enough, so I get used to wrapping before spending more on it. Then there's the end tip for, as I was saying, for putting it on its barrel, and then there's work lights, and then sorry, wrong button. Then you have your bale count. You can choose which one. As you can see, we only have about 500 bales done on the wrapper. Since we got it, it's been fairly wet since we got it. Oh look, sorry, the balers just have to put into the field, so at least we have bales done, hopefully. Because we were stacking in this field, I got them to take the headlands off first. So back. So then all we have is in manual mode we have our slow move, fast move manual. This is rollers going over, or wrapping arms going in reverse. Just left what that is. Rollers open, rollers closed, pause wrapping, auto start, emergency stop. There's not much to it. It's a great machine. I'll make a video now in a minute after working. Thank you. Okay, so the bale started coming at me. I was getting 8 from the Caltech and 4 from the tractor, so they were coming in at me 12 bales a time, and they were running out of space too fast for me to make a video. We only got this machine halfway through the season, so there's only about, I think, 6,500 bales on it. We started the season with our old wrapper, so by the time we got it and then put the 500 bales on it there, we were approaching harvest. So I didn't really get to do much with the wrapper in the wind up. My father done a lot of it. I spent most of the preceding months in the combine. I done a bit on it, but mostly it was at night where I finished combining, and I went and took over from Daddy and finished out the wrapping, wrapped into the night. It's yeah, my father's fairly good at, in fairness to him, but just some of the technical stuff eluded him. But in fairness, he was still doing about 30 to 35 bales an hour with it, which is fairly good considering you have to wrap it and then stack it. When I timed it, it was taking 26 seconds, 26 to 27 seconds to wrap a bale, and then it just took whatever time it took to flip it, to tip it out, to stack it. So, and I remember in one stack the bales were near enough to exactly beside me, like that stack in the video where they were dropping the bales in the headland and then I was stacking it. And I was doing a bale every 46 seconds. So I was wrapping it, and then it was taking me time to tip it and stack it. I was talking to another contractor who runs one of these machines, and he was saying that they used to run the double bay lifters as well. This is the contractor that subcontracted into Caltech, and they used to draw them all with double bay lifters as well. And when you drop it with the double bay lifter, because the two bales are side by side, you have to then give it a little nudge so that you can get in with the roller to pick up the other bale, otherwise you're going to tear the netting. And he said that in his opinion you're losing somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds per bale every time you have to do that, which is why the Caltech is the better option. But that being said, he's still only averaging about 45 bales an hour with it, whereas we were doing a little over that. And I just simply put that down to maneuverability. He's using a 412 on the pit, or on the wrapper, whereas we have our 310S. So we have more horsepower and we're more maneuverable. And on top of that, I can extend the boom out to get myself extra reach, where he has to try and let the bale out to the edge of the roller to try and get it. So it just, they're a perfect combination in my opinion. A 320S would be better for the 3-rotor one. But we don't have a 3-rotor one, so we're not really in any bother for that. This knife system is far superior to the old Tanco we had, the 1300. It was like a scissors effect. I used to come down and catch the plastic, but it used to slip maybe 1 in 10 bales, and that'd slow you down again. In the old wrapper, you'd be lucky to be doing, you were wrapping a bale around every 45 seconds. The reason it wasn't twice as long with one rotor is because these rotors have to slow down to merge. So what happens is when you pick up the bale, this arm will swing out to the front, and then they'll complete their laps, and then that arm will then fold back to this one and they'll sit in. I made a video of wrapping straw when I first got it, so I'll attach that in here. I do think that this was one of the best investments we made this year. While the McHale Sporter, which is actually in the shed here beside me, was great, was leaps and bounds ahead of the Lely one we had, this far exceeded output, because it meant that we were able to run this one wrapper with 2 balers, and the wrapper was probably only an hour behind the balers finishing in the evening. The biggest problem was when we had a busy day and we sent the balers in 2 directions. So one basically went that way out into Kildare, and the other one went that way out into Wicklow. So the wrapper had to pick a direction and start, and then it finished following one baler, and then I had to go to Wicklow and finish the other baler. So I was out until, I think I was out till 4 AM that night wrapping. But because the wrapper requires bales, it meant that I got an extra hour's lie-in the morning, so I could it was grand that way. Like, so the balers went off, started, and then the tractors went off and started drawing, and then I had bales to start wrapping. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about the wrappers only. I do think they're a great job. The only downside to them, and I don't see it as a downside because, look, sorry, I'll explain. The Fusions, the new Fusions and the combi balers can apply the plastic before you can before you wrap it, so it's the extra plastic on it. Whereas my we can't do that because we have to draw the bales and the plastic wouldn't take the hardship, so it has to be netting. But I would be of the opinion that if the bales are made properly, the little bit of lack of plastic wouldn't make a massive difference, especially if you're stacking them on their barrel, so that the thickest part of it is near the birds anyway, which is the main reason for this plastic, is birds. Look, we make a good few bales every year and we haven't had any complaints about bad quality silage. The only silage that extra plastic would make a difference to is real soft grass, but that's good silage anyway. Look, I have no objections to either system. Everyone's their own, but I like our system and I have no intention of changing it anytime soon. As I said in the video of the sorter, the only change I will be making is I will be adding a sorter to it, and instead of hiring a second baler, I'd like to buy another one. But look, for the moment it works out grand because a friend of mine just puts his tractor on the second baler and works away. Whereas if I was running a second baler, I'd probably have to run another tractor, another driver, another everything. And then the cost of it, like, it's only really in June, July, when there's hay being made and silage being made, and then you're into July and there's straw being baled and everything, that we really need the second baler. But yeah, well, look, I'm going to sign off at that. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, do strongly recommend the Tancos, but as I said, every machine has its place. You know, what works for us and works for our customers mightn't work for everyone. There are a lot of Fusions on the go, so obviously people like that system, but for the most part our customers want it drawn in, so this system works well for us. Yeah, no, I'd be well happy. Anyway, take care.